Hey, we're going to take a look at a real life Amazon affiliate site. My name is Doug Cunnington. I'm from Niche Site Project, and we are just going to tear down an actual real profitable Amazon affiliate site, and you'll actually have the opportunity to get a bunch of keywords, like about 1,000 keywords for this specific site and a bunch of others. So just be sure you sign up for the email list and you'll get those keywords. So let's get to the teardown right now. Right, we are looking at luxuryshaves.com, and if this is the first example site that you're taking a look at, we sort of dive through some of the critical information about the site. I did extract some data from like SEMrush, SimilarWeb, and try to do a little bit of analysis ahead of time. So once we take a quick look at that, we'll go have a look at the site, and I'll start sort of critiquing it and auditing what they're doing there. So first off, we can see that this site was founded in February of 2013, so it does have some age. I mean, at this point, it's 2017 right now when I'm recording this, and that site's like 4 years old, which is pretty solid in the grand scheme of things. The number of keywords they have ranking in the top 100, this is a stat that you get from SEMrush. It's over 4,000, so that's quite a few. And you can see the estimated number of monthly visitors is somewhere between 3,000 and 20,000, which is a massive range, right? So you have to take that estimate with a grain of salt and understand that they're based on different sort of metrics and estimations from SEMrush and SimilarWeb. In either case, right, we know that there's some traffic going to the site. This graphic is from SEMrush here, and you can see the site got a pretty slow start, and it slowly picked up more. And one cool thing here, right? So it's actually gaining traffic, right? So through the end of sort of 2016, the site was still gaining traffic and improving, which is interesting because many of the other sites we looked at, in fact, you could sort of align the increases in traffic for luxury shaves to the decreases in traffic if you check out, say, some of the other videos where we look at another shaving site. I think there's a car seat site, and they have issues where at the same period of time, luxury shaves was actually increasing traffic, so it seems. Additionally, we see here the domain authority is listed as 41, but I could tell you when we look at it in a moment, it's a little bit lower. The domain authority is sort of a moving target. Moz updates that figure every now and then. Moving on. Engagement, the average time on site is a little over a minute, and the page views per visitor, it's almost 2, which is pretty good overall. The bounce rate, I'm not sure how SimilarWeb determines that, but they say it's about 46%. The other really interesting thing is this site was sold for $25,000. My friend Dom Wells at Human Proof Designs actually, I think he purchased this site and then made a lot of improvements on the site and then sold it, which is awesome. So let's go take a look at the site here. And first thing, it looks super basic and fairly clean, which I do appreciate. A simple color scheme, nothing too crazy here. Their ad stands out. Which is a good thing as far as ads go. One thing that I kind of dislike, so I'm not much for design. As long as the site can convey information, I'm usually happy with that. But these sort of like cheap looking, they look like just graphics that you got on Fiverr and you literally paid like $5 for it, and they look kind of they just look kind of crappy in my opinion. It may not be a deal breaker or anything. I mean, you can read it and stuff, but it just looks a little cheapish. I'd rather just have like a plain text, Arial black or some plain font, and just keep it simple. But overall, it's clean. It's not too crowded. There's not too many things going on. One thing that I do like is they have sort of a, well, I take that back. I thought they had more of a landing type page, but they actually talk about different types of razors here. And I guess maybe they sort of allow some navigation to introduce the different topics. So they talk about straight razors, they talk about safety razors, and some of the criteria that you would have to think about. Additionally, they allow you to, go to other parts of the site. So, upon second glance, it's actually a nice way for them to present this information. There's a bit of a narrative, there's common questions that are asked, and then it allows the user to navigate throughout the site. So that's good. Good overall. And they have, categories listed over here. So there's a lot of different things that a man needs to think about when he's shaving, apparently. So, there's all these different products they could take a look at. If you're curious, I use a safety razor, much like this one here. And I have like a badger brush kind of deal, like these guys. There's a lot of details with this stuff. People seriously get obsessed. You could probably see that I do not. I shave once or twice a week. We're definitely digressing here, and we can get back to the audit. So let's take a look at the navigation at the top. So this is cool. It sort of allows the user to get to anywhere on the site. I will say a lot of times it's good to sort of reduce the number of choices that a person has. So that's something to think about. However, the way a lot of these Amazon affiliate niche sites work, it's free organic traffic from Google typically and other search engines. Although I think it's 80 or 90% of the traffic does come from Google. The thing is, if that is where the traffic is coming from, they're landing on a specific page in which they found through Google. So that said, this navigation stuff that I'm talking about right now is not super important. So let's take a quick look at, I mentioned the best safety razors or safety razors. So I like it opens in a new tab. That's a nice way to, have the site open new windows. There's a nice image at the top. There's a definition. So I really like the way Dom, wrote the content here, or is presenting the content, in that, it's questions, right? What is a safety razor? And then it gets right into the advantages, the pros, and hopefully cons in here. Okay, so they don't mention cons right off the bat, but let's go back up to the top. So there's a nice image at the top. Good use of basically heading tags here. So there's different subheadings. So there's H2, H3, whatever it may be. There's a great deal of interlinking, right? So there's you can go to straight razors. They talk about King Gillette, and that's another interlink. And again, double edge. So they're talking a lot about the different aspects, and they're allowing you to navigate through the site in a pretty deliberate way. So that's great. One thing I do like also is, they're calling out a specific model here. It's very easy to get over to Amazon. There's a big button. You can also get to it via this text link, and that's great. For me, I usually find that a text link actually converts better. You get more clicks over. Buttons are great also. You should always, test and see what works better. If you have enough traffic to a site or a particular page, you could actually run like A/B tests using, specific tools. Optimize Press, Visual Website Optimizer, and I think you could even run these sort of tests using Google Analytics, although I haven't done that specifically. So again, really good use of just presenting the information. There's a lot of white space, and there's even more subheadings. Things are numbered out. Really really smart to do that stuff. I would maybe, make sure there's a few more images throughout. I mean, that's kind of nice to break up the text also. They talk about the construction, the type of headpieces. There's a video. That's awesome. I almost always include a YouTube video. You can do that. A lot of people ask if you're allowed to post other people's videos. The answer is yes. If there's an embeddable option in the the share area of the video, you'll be able to, grab the, embed code and place it into your site. Of course, a specific user on YouTube can say, no, you can't share this video, and it's a setting that they have to set. So if they don't set it, you are allowed to embed it. So you can put videos on here, which is great because it's, if you don't happen to have, all these razors, for example, it's kind of hard to have an informative video. So this is a great way to do it. Moving on, you can see, several different items are presented here. There's more links to Amazon via a button for each one of the items and text right at the top. This is great. That's exactly what I would recommend. And you can also click on the image here as well. So for each one of these models, you can, get to Amazon via the image, a text link, and a button. That's outstanding. This is, Dom knows what he's doing. He's doing a really good job on this one. Of course, he sold it, but he set it up and it looks like no one's touched it for a while. Additionally, if there's a specific review, like there is for this Merkur long-handled safety razor, you can see that this is a link to a review on the site. So more interlinking, and if a person's interested, they can look even closer. I'm going to open that in another tab so we can take a look at it in a second. It's always interesting to look at the specific reviews. So I'll open it up. Another tab we'll take a look in a moment. Okay, so on and on and on. There's more products and it's great. Another video, and they have another sort of call to action down here in a bright contrasting red color. It does look like the theme here is could be Thrive themes here. It sort of reminds me of the way it looks. And let's see, they do have a a disclaimer down at the bottom, which is good. It's a little bit different disclaimer than a lot of the standard Amazon disclaimers that you see, but I think this will certainly suffice. They have a contact page, which is cool. So we'll just click on that. Okay, so it's a little, they have a short code in here and there's no way to actually contact them. So that's a little unfortunate, but not a huge deal. Let's take a quick look at the About page while we're sort of digressing in this area. Okay, so they have some nice, thoughtful, written out About page. This is pretty good. A lot of times I like to see a persona, but they've written enough here about what the site's about and that sort of thing. So I think it's a good way to present it, as far as like, this is a site by people who have some expertise on the topic and we actually care about these products and that sort of thing. So the idea is you add a little bit of credibility. You're not going to be able to measure this so easily as far as like having credibility. Does it boost your conversions? It's really hard to measure that kind of stuff. But I know personally, just an N of one, me, if I go to a website and let's say I want to buy a razor, I would probably follow the advice if I trusted the person a little bit and believed that they actually used some or any of the products. So, if you're not a person that shaves, it's kind of hard to trust you if you're writing about shavers. So that said, it's good to have a persona that is somewhat related and adds credibility. Okay, so let's take a look at an actual review of a specific razor. So this is the Merkur safety razor, a nice sort of hero image of this particular product. They talk about it a little bit. They get into the features. This is actually a link over to Amazon, and that's great. I like to have a link over to Amazon pretty early on, so I like that. They also talk about pros and cons. You can view it on Amazon. Talk about the brand. This is a pretty short review. It would kind of be cool to have a little bit more information about like usage or something like that. Additionally, I like to have, I like to have sort of user impressions in there. Now, you cannot copy reviews from Amazon. You shouldn't even really reference, that you're getting information from Amazon, because you could sort of stay on the up and up if you don't do that. But you could go to, say, a shaving forum and get information there and actually, reference that information. I mean, obviously people are sharing their opinions, and those are real opinions, and people that are going to join a forum and talk about a particular topic, they're usually experts in it, or at least they know the lingo, and they know, how to speak about a specific product line. So that said, it's pretty cool. Maybe after the pros and cons, you could say, a lot of users thought that blah, 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 whatever it is they think about the product. And you can put in like some real observations within the review. So I think that pretty much covers it. The other thing that I see is they, in the sidebar, they have these nice, pictures of the badger brushes. So those are cool. And, if you click one, it takes you over to the review, and then you can, well, it's telling me to view more, and then it does go over to Amazon. So that's there's not much information on this, but I guess they're banking on the fact that people would do just what I did. I wasn't sure what was going to happen because I didn't look at the link, but it does go straight to Amazon. All right, so that concludes this particular teardown. If you enjoyed this, please check out the others. There's a whole playlist. There's a bunch of other sites that I tear down, and I do just this, just talk about it, let you know what I think. And I will say overall, I didn't plan this, but this site was done really well. There's a lot of calls to action. It's pretty formulaic across the different pages, which is good. And like I said, it's lucky that I picked this one, and I'm happy that Dom did a great job, improving this site before he sold it. So, good job, Dom, and thanks for letting me feature this site. Okay, so don't forget to go grab the keywords. Like I said, you can get about 15,000 total. You'll also get a bunch of other tips and tricks for running a niche site, productivity, project management, scaling your business, all sorts of stuff. So head over to nichesiteproject.com/YouTube keywords to get all your free goodies. Thanks.